Guys, Bitcoin is still technically bullish. I see some bullish things on the order flow, and I'm also planning my next long on Bitcoin. Obviously, we still got the bottom long from 58k and also the closer one from 77. I'm still going to be expecting higher, still waiting for higher on Bitcoin, still with my bullish bias. However, a bullish bias is only as good as helping me keep my open longs and also avoid shorts. And even more importantly, if we happen to get a drop, if I'm holding a bullish bias, it would mean that I should be looking to long. However, just please, if you're a beginner, understand that if I'm expecting higher with a bullish bias, it does not mean I'm predicting higher. I'm saying higher. Go bet now. Go all in that Bitcoin is going higher. As a professional, I'm only using my bias to support my trade management and also my new trade setups. Hence why today I'm going to be talking about potentially a new trade we may all take. To be honest, I do think this would be the best, greatest trade that if we happen to get a drop to, we may potentially then get a move upwards towards higher, because obviously, as I stated, guys, I see no weakness on Bitcoin, especially because we've held two important levels. I'd say that on the higher time frame, I've got this very important previous box of volume. So I'd say 76, 77 to 78 is what it's important in terms of the current local higher time frame level, 77 to 78, and we still haven't even lost it, and we're actually building some good important local structure. As you can see, we've got two levels of volume profiles. I'm going to be breaking them down, but even if this is lost, we still got, by the way, we still got 74 and 71, and more importantly 67. To be honest, like, as long as Bitcoin is holding 67, even if we drop, fully rotate back and literally drop, let me do the measurement, if we drop almost 15%, I will still be looking to take a trade. Now obviously, if Bitcoin loses 67, then we can maybe go back to thinking of lower lows. However, for the time being, I do think that it's going to be more profitable and even more healthier emotionally to be looking for holding trades, long trades, and also for looking to new ones. More importantly, right now, I would love to discuss the lower time frame and how Bitcoin may give us an important level. I'll be breaking down the most important resistance area, which is currently, like, long story short, I'd say is in between, I'd say 79.2 to 79.8. If Bitcoin reclaims this zone, I'm going to be expecting not only this high to be hit, but probably even higher. As I said, and as I've made it very clear, again, there is a difference between me not wanting to short in between now and 86 and me predicting 86 to be the target. Again, I only prefer this because I don't think that we got important levels in between them. This doesn't mean that Bitcoin can no way like reverse before hitting my zone. However, me personally, I wouldn't be shorting, at least currently, without actually maybe getting a scalp on the lower time frame. We never know, maybe tomorrow, maybe after weeks. But me personally, I do think that if Bitcoin truly reclaims, I'd say 79.7, not only are we going to be taking out the high at 81.2, but probably even going to 88. I'm still bullish on Bitcoin. Hence why, again, as I said, now there's two ways of viewing the current price point locally for us to take a trade. Now, again, it may be a bit, maybe a bit boring and maybe a bit confusing, but first of all, we can consider this as a whole range by applying a volume profile to it, which is technically true. So again, we may get Bitcoin to fail to break, as I said, the valley area high, and this could cause us to drop lower. And I got my eyes on the zone of 77.4 to 76.8. Why? Because obviously, not only is it the POC, will be making out new lows, potentially taking out some liquidity, but we also got this lovely anchored VU up, not the best, not the strongest, but that is what we got working for, with here, which is currently taken from this little local uptrend beginning after this little retracement from 67.8, 68k. So we can clearly see that if Bitcoin, again, it's a big if Bitcoin loses now and creates a new low on the daily time frame, if we break out or take out these lows and go inside the 77k level, I'm going to be reading the order flow. If Bitcoin hits this level with good reaction, I'm looking for a trade similar to how we caught this one, the second one, maybe this is the third hit, POC, before continuing higher. Again, this is the first way of looking at the level. If Bitcoin never drops to 77.4, unfortunately, there's no trades to be taken. Why? Because also the different perspective of actually looking at this price action range, that's the the, I mean, sideways action we've got since Friday, this sideways action can also be viewed and looked at from a different perspective, which is basically slicing and dissecting these as two different ranges. And if we were to apply a volume profile into both of them separately, so we'll get this one, and then after breakout we'll get the other one, we can clearly see where the value area high and low falls in between both of them. So if I was to do this again, we can clearly now have a better telling story of why Bitcoin may not drop to 77.4 if it doesn't lose this value area low slash value area high of the previous range, which is currently at 78. So again, this could be bullish because on the order flow, not to confuse you guys, hence why, like, again, there will be no trade if we don't drop up. Again, I just want to be very, very truthful to you guys and for you, and show you how important, to be honest, the CVD is, and how we're creating a bullish divergence, showing that even though there's lots and lots of selling pressure that was happening and going on, I'd say, throughout the past week or so, maybe 5 days or so, Bitcoin hasn't dropped as much as the selling pressure that was happening on it. Hence why, to be honest, again, I would be understanding of Bitcoin if it magically just holds up 78k and then fully continues higher. So there's two cases: order flow showing bullishness, we hold 78 and immediately start breaking higher, or maybe lose 78, be lucky enough to go back to 77.4 and get a long trade. And again, as I stated, we have no idea what will happen. I just understand that currently the order flow is bullish. We even got shorts like now being stuck at the bottom. So let's just see. Locally, as I said, 78 is strong. If 78 is held, expect higher on Bitcoin. If lost, then we got maybe a new trade to be taken. I'm just fully watching out Bitcoin. If you have a long like me, you don't need to be worrying about what next happens on Bitcoin.